subrosatea.com. Friends, we are a very small company based in Northern Ohio, and we will ship anywhere in the United States. In today's video, I'm going to tell you all about our amazing autumn flavors that go well beyond the apple orchard and the pumpkin patch. What say you? I really want to hear from you. When we are now in September, is that what you want to drink? All apple and pumpkin teas? Because there is a full world of flavor beyond. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about 12 autumnal styled teas that can be enjoyed both hot and cold. I know a lot of you are enjoying record high temps right now, so it is definitely extending summer. And for me, sometimes when it's 86 degrees outside, I just cannot drink a cup of pumpkin spice tea. So I'm going to tell you about these autumn teas, but for those of you who are here for those, I want to make sure that you know that we do have a pumpkin patch collection of teas, 6 teas based on my love of pumpkin. There are 2 teas that do not have any spice, so it's not all pumpkin and spice. I promise you, they are uniquely different. I will talk about them in the end of today's video. And the pumpkin patch collection features the Vienna glass teapot. For those of you who are looking for more fall flavors, we do have an apple orchard collection, 6 fabulous apple inspired teas. Again, 2 of the flavors do not have any spice. In both of these collections, we do have teas with caffeine and teas without. In the apple orchard collection, I will talk about it at the end of the video. It does feature our Kyoto glass teapot. One more collection that I wanted to make sure that you knew about, because it is fun and uniquely different than all of the other teas I'm going to tell you about, is our malt shop inspired collection. I know that you know what I'm talking about. A fabulous malt shop, a retro diner. They always have really fabulous foods. Again, I will talk about these tea inspired by Malt Shop Classics at the end of the video. This Malt Shop collection features our flask iced tea jug. So again, those of you who are looking for both hot and cold teas this time of year, all 3 of the teapots and jugs that I just mentioned are great for both. They are made out of glass. They are extremely versatile. You can both cold steep and hot steep. Hey there, Miss Andrea. Thanks for joining me live. I appreciate it. Oh yes, thank you for mentioning it, Andrea. I want to make sure that you all know that next Sunday on September 10th, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be launching a brand new collection. It is Oktoberfest inspired teas. Andrea and I were joking last week that I was not going to be introducing a bratwurst tasting tea. I promise that is definitely not in my wheelhouse, but I think I will definitely surprise you. So do make sure you plan to attend live. We're going to have some fun with Oktoberfest flavors. There are a lot of good flavors, and I'm working with ingredients that I've never worked with before. So if you're looking for something new and different, make sure you come back next Sunday. If you are watching on Facebook, we do have a Facebook event created. I did just share it to our main Facebook page and also our Facebook group. You are all welcome to join it. Our Sub Rosa Tea Top Shelf Club is the name of the group. You're welcome to join. We post fun recipes and more detailed information in the group. And those of you who might be watching on the replay on Instagram or YouTube, again, you're welcome to join us, but the video will be both on Facebook and also our mobile shopping app. That's where Andrea is right now. So if you're watching on social media, you might not be able to see her questions and comments, but I will definitely read them out loud. I think, Andrea, if I'm remembering correctly, you definitely like your fall and autumn teas. So I want to tell you about these teas. These teas that I'm going to talk about in this video are not limited edition. The 3 collections that I just mentioned, the Apple Orchard, the Pumpkin Patch, and the Malt Shop, those are limited edition, and that is the name of the web page that you can find those teas on, and also the tab on the mobile shopping app. The teas that I'm going to talk to you right now about, these are teas that we do typically sell all year. So those on our website, you can find them by category. You're going to see a page called loose leaf tea, and then a drop down for black teas, green teas, caffeine-free teas. So the teas I'm going to talk about today, that's where you can find those on the website and also on the mobile shopping app. The about the app is that when you're watching a video like this, if you see something you like, you can immediately tap to put the size that you're interested in into your cart. Versus those of you watching on social media, you might have to take notes or try to remember or watch on the replay, because I'm going to go through an awful lot of teas in today's video. And that is right, I am recording this. Hi Lenora, thanks for joining us live. I appreciate it. I am recording this on Labor Day weekend, so I wasn't expecting a really large live audience. I know a lot of people do have other plans on Labor Day weekend, but I know these videos get watched by hundreds and hundreds of people on the replay, and that is okay with me. You are definitely all welcome here. I appreciate your time. So I'm going to talk as fast as I possibly can about these great autumn teas. Okay, first up, let's talk about the black tea. We've got 4 black teas in this collection. Caramel Macchiato. Caramel Macchiato, we introduced this year. For those of you who like the classic sweet coffee drink that you might get at a coffee shop, this tea tastes very, very similar. It is a black tea, so it does have caffeine. It does taste like coffee because we did use real coffee beans. Keep in mind, the best thing about this is you get all the antioxidants of loose leaf tea, none of the acid of coffee. This is primarily a caramel tasting tea. The coffee taste is honestly just in the background, but that's the way it is when you get one of these fancy drinks at a coffee shop. So if you like caramel and cream and a little bit of coffee, this tea is for you. All of the black teas, all of the green teas, and all of the caffeine-free teas I'm talking about today are good both hot and cold. Next up is our pumpkin chai. Now, I know I told you that we have a whole pumpkin patch collection, but the pumpkin chai isn't included. That's right, we have even more pumpkin teas that are not in the pumpkin patch collection. We have that many pumpkin teas. I love them. I literally do. I really love it. Okay, pumpkin chai. Oh yes, Andrea just said, what's this collection called? Honestly, I'm calling today's video Amazing Autumn Teas, but there is not an entire collection named this. This is just for today's video, and all of these teas are not limited edition. They are available full-time, so selling a bundle almost doesn't make sense because I know a lot of people kind of stick to what they know and they like, especially on the caffeine content. But that's the topic of the video, Amazing Autumn Teas. So again, friends, pumpkin chai, definitely a good pumpkin taste, definitely heavy on the chai. This is probably the spiciest and heaviest on the spice of the pumpkin teas that we sell, especially when we're talking about black teas. So if you like it really, really strong on the spice, I highly recommend this one. Next up is our spiced apple chai. Again, friends, I think apples are fabulous. Sometimes I like just an apple taste, but the majority of the time I really do like it with some nice spice. The reason why this makes it into the Amazing Autumn Tea collection is that it's so good cold. It is really, really good as an iced tea. Think about cider. Normally when I have cider, it doesn't have a lot of spice to it. It is just that great roasted apple taste to it, but it's on the sweet side. This definitely has good spice, but the spices are more mellow when you steep it in cold water. So if you want it super spicy, steep it hot. If you're looking for something mellow and refreshing and fabulous for your fall flavor celebration, definitely think about the spiced apple chai. Next up is our Tennessee whiskey. This has all the absolutely favorite fall flavors in my mind. We've had Tennessee whiskey before. It is typically a part of our dry January tea collection. We do have a bunch of teas that do taste like cocktails when you're trying to cut back in January. This one really does have whiskey notes to it, but it's not so strong that it's going to make you pucker. An interesting thing about whiskey is that sometimes it just has so much barrel smoky taste to it. I think whiskey or bourbon should be really smooth and mellow and just so drinkable, and that is exactly what this tea is. So it does have a lot of great flavor notes, which again I associate with the fall, like caramel and apple, but it does have some smoky flavor notes too. Again, friends, Tennessee whiskey is a black tea, so it does have caffeine. This is another one that if you like those smoky notes of a typical bourbon, definitely steep it hot. It will be more mellow when you cold steep it. Personally, I'm gonna like that bourbon cold, but I'm also thinking fall is perfect for hot toddies. Where I live, we call it warm. It is both cold and warm. It is very chilly in the morning and late at night, and it can get extremely hot and humid during the day. So the whiskey flavor is perfect for hot toddies too. When you come in late at night, that you want something hot, that you're going to maybe add to a honey or something like that, it's perfect. Next up, I want to talk about green teas. So I'm going to jump around in the queue a little bit. Let's see, I'm looking for the other one. I skipped something and I'm really sorry about that, those of you watching live. It's on here somewhere. Okay, I'm just going to talk about it then. I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the creme brulee because it is up next in my basket. Creme brulee, friends, I really feel like this is a quintessential fall flavor. Brulee is not burnt sugar, but it is definitely sugar that has been lit on fire, that caramelized sugar. It's really not caramel though. It is a very specific taste profile in my world anyway. So this creme brulee definitely has that brulee flavor and nice creamy notes. It has a little tiny bit of cinnamon, a little tiny bit of hazelnut, lots of cream, lots of that brulee flavor. This is a green tea, so it is absolutely heaven in the middle of the afternoon. Perfect hot or cold. Definitely use steaming water, not boiling, because it is a green tea. Next up, another favorite you gotta have for the fall is honey lemon. Honey lemon this time of year, again, with the temperatures changing, the humidity fluctuates a lot. Some of us do suffer from fall allergies, so having honey lemon in your pantry is perfect. It is the perfect amount of both of those, honey and lemon, but it also has bee pollen, which is a biofuel, which is great for your immune system. So again, absolutely perfect for those hot toddies. It is perfect hot or cold. It's a great refreshing iced tea. I think a lot of people, especially this time of year, you're going out on a picnic, you're doing tailgating, you're out and about, things like that. You just want an overall tea in your jug or your thermos that is just perfect for everything, for your whole entire day. So honey lemon is a good one and is definitely awesome and autumnal. Next up, let's move the queue. It's spiced pear. Spiced pear. We haven't talked about this one in a while. This is a really good green tea, but it is extremely different than the other green teas that I picked out. It definitely has a little bit of spice to it. It's almost like a pear meets a hot spice, a hot cinnamon with vanilla. When you poach a pear, you do it in liquid, and it renders the essence of the pear very differently than when you just like maybe put pear on a salad, if you know what I mean. This tea has it all. It is nice and mellow enough for a meal, but it is definitely strong enough for tea time. It is another really great fall tea, spiced pear. Miss Lori has joined us live. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Lori says she loves both the Tennessee whiskey and the caramel macchiatos. They are great teas. They are very interesting. They have amazing depth of flavor. Both of those have a lot of ingredients, and you can just tell that that was exactly my inspiration with all those ingredients coming together. And they make really good lattes. Both of those, really good lattes. When you're thinking fall, sometimes I'm definitely thinking a tall latte to go. Next up, friends, is our mint mojito. Now, mint mojito. A mojito is typically lime and mint, which is what the tea is, of course. And a mojito is a cocktail. So once again, a cocktail-inspired tea beverage. So the peppermint is fabulous. Sometimes I really like peppermint at the holidays. You know, I'm thinking candy canes. I'm thinking those fabulous buttery mint little mints. I'm thinking a lot of things with the holidays, but the addition of the lime makes this really autumnal to me. It makes it just fabulous. It's bright enough, especially if you like Tex-Mex type flavors. This is a great tea to pair that with. The peppermint is cooling. The lime bumps up all of the flavor notes in your meal. Another good one, hot or cold. I personally love cold steeping it. I think the peppermint is nice and strong and it comes out really, really nicely. Next up is the caffeine-free selection. Like I said, in the amazing autumn collection that I'm talking about today, 4 black tea, 4 green tea, and these are caffeine-free. This is our Cranberry Harvest. Is it too early for cranberries? I'm going to say no way. I love cranberries, especially in this tea because it's paired with apple. For me, it makes it perfect and this time of year. It is great cold steeped. This is another one that is perfect cold steeped in. Like I cold steep it in Sprite or 7-Up. You can cold steep it in ginger ale. You can definitely cold steep it in gin or vodka or even a Chardonnay. It adds that perfect tart sweetness to it. It does have great depth of flavor. It does have hibiscus. So this Cranberry Harvest is absolutely perfect for the fall season. Next up, a nice sweet tea. This is Salted Caramel Rooibos. I actually have 2 rooibos teas to talk about here. The rooibos are both red rooibos in both of these blends. Rooibos is known to be good for headaches, inflammation, and insomnia. So a lot of you with joint issues, that rooibos is going to be perfect, especially when you have gone for a long fall walk, or maybe you went to the football game, you're out sitting in the cold on those bleachers, your knees and your back are not really thanking you for that. A rooibos tea at night is absolutely perfect. Again, no caffeine in this one. And I would have to say salted caramel is another good one to have in your pantry because you could mix it with something. If you are thinking one of the teas that you bought isn't as sweet as you would like it, add the salted caramel rooibos to it. I bet you will be happy you did. Andrea says it's never too early for cranberries. I love cranberries. It's really a good berry, both summer and fall. Next up, I'm going to jump in the queue here. Here we are, Sweet Pumpkin Spice. For those of you who are looking for completely caffeine-free and pumpkin-y, this is the tea that I have to say tastes most like pumpkin pie with whipped cream to me. It's got just the right amount of spice. It's not too strong. It's mellow. It's creamy. It does have vanilla in it. It has nice pumpkin notes to it and sweetness. So it's both sweet and spicy, which to me is everything fall, right? Yes, absolutely. Perfect. That reminds me, those of you who do have a sweet tooth, after our Oktoberfest collection comes out on September 10th, 2 weeks after that, we'll have our Halloween candy launch. So we have teas that taste like Halloween candy, and the date for that is September 24th, so you can mark your calendars now. Those teas will be back in stock at that time. Probably never too early, right, for tea that tastes like candy. Anyway, this one tastes like pie. It's quite good. Triple Root, another tea that is absolutely perfect for your joints. This tea has ginger, turmeric, and sarsaparilla, which are 3 things that are really great for your joints, and they're all roots. That's why I called it Triple Root, right? And I know that probably sounds funny. I think there was like a question going around on social media, like, describe your job badly. And that is probably one of the funnier things for me to talk about my job, because I work with leaves and twigs and roots and flowers, and I make them taste good. Does that sound weird, right? It does. It really is so fun. So Triple Root is spicy, I have to tell you. It is quite spicy, especially if you steep it hot. So that's where you are going to get the most benefits to your joints. You do need to drink a couple of cups a day in order to see a difference. And I know that might sound challenging to some of you, but it's a very tasty tea. You can also cold steep this. You can put this entire bag of tea into your jug with cold water and take a couple sips throughout your day, and you're probably going to get enough turmeric to notice a difference in your joints, which is great. So you can absolutely cold or hot steep it. Hi there, Stacy, joining us on Facebook. If you are joining us, that either means you are stuck in traffic or you are safe at home. So I appreciate you commenting and coming here live. Friends, those are the 12 amazing autumn teas I wanted to tell you about. Again, if you're joining us late, we have 4 black teas, 4 green teas, 4 caffeine-free teas. They can be found on our regular pages website. So when you see the page called Loose Leaf Tea, you should see a drop down categorized by caffeine. So black teas, green teas, caffeine-free. I also want to very quickly tell you about the other ones that I mentioned. So I had talked to you about our Malt Shop combo pack. These teas are very, very different than what I just talked to you about, so you've got to know about them. So the Malt Shop collection teas are limited edition. So you'll see a page like that, called that on our website. These are only around for a short period of time. We did introduce them last month. They will only be around for a little bit longer. So if you are interested, please snatch them up. These Malt Shop inspired teas are available individually as a bundle, if you like all 6, and also as a combo pack with our flask ice tea jug. This jug does hold 6 to 7 cups. It's glass, and the infuser is actually in the lid. So you put the tea leaves right into the jug with cold water. The lid will act like a strainer to keep all the leaves down. All you're going to get is the iced tea in your cup. This collection has 2 black teas. We have our coconut cream pie. Definitely nice and sweet. As the name implies, definitely coconut and cream and almost nothing else. It is a nice and smooth, creamy and sweet. The other black tea in this collection is our chocolate malt. Chocolate malt. This is one of the only teas, this is currently the only tea that I sell that has that really strong malt taste to it, like a malted milk dud, a milk ball, an actual malt taste to it. It's very, very specific. I would say people either love it or they hate it. We sell more large bags of the chocolate malt than we sell of the other 2 sizes. I really do think people super love it or don't like it at all. And that's okay. It's such a Malt Shop staple, right? It just is. Next up, friends, we have a white tea in this collection. This is Orange Julius. If you don't know, Orange Julius is typically a blend of like a frozen orange concentrate and like a vanilla ice cream that they blend together. So this has all of those notes, but no sugar, no carbs, no calories, nice and sweet on its own. It's a white tea, so very low in caffeine, high in antioxidants, orange and vanilla. The Malt Shop tea collection also has a green tea, cherry limeade. So this is a green tea, again, low in caffeine, high in antioxidants, definitely a cherry and lime note to it. It does have a lot of sweetness though. I know sometimes cherries can be a little tart, especially when they play with lime, but this one does have some sweetness to it. It's also absolutely perfect with carbonation. So if you love a carbonated beverage, this one's super fun. It's also really fun with our boba. If you didn't know, I didn't put it in the queue today, but our instant brown sugar boba is back in stock. So we do have that now. Perfect for every single one of these teas. Really, absolutely. Next up, Banana Split. Banana Split is a part of our Malt Shop tea collection. Banana Split's caffeine free, so is the next one. So this one's nice and fruity, and I know Banana Split is kind of a la carte, like a buffet. Like there's so many ingredients, right? So definitely think vanilla and banana. This also has a little bit of strawberry in the background, but what I skipped here is chocolate, and I didn't do nuts either. But if you like those elements, you can do a search in our search bar, and you will see that we absolutely do sell teas with chocolate and or nuts. So if you wanted to add that, it's loose leaf tea. You can definitely marry the 2 together and make your own banana split. Next up is a caffeine-free tea. It's root beer float. A customer just sent me such a sweet message about the root beer float that it just tickled her, that it was just the best. It was such a reward to have this tea really taste like her childhood memories. It just touched my heart. It was so great. Root beer actually started as tea 100 years ago, and then they morphed it into soda using artificial ingredients. So if you like the gist of tea or the gist of soda, but you don't want all the artificial ingredients, I gotta say, tea is for you, right? Really gotta try this root beer float. So sassafras and sarsaparilla, nice big amounts of vanilla in here, just like a float. My memory was A&W root beer, and that's what this is. We do have another root beer tea that we sell at the top of the calendar year based on a different brand name of root beer, and the two teas are different. They really are different. So root beer float is very similar to A&W root beer. We also brought back our red ripe strawberry pie because it is ever so popular. We always have sold a lot of this tea. It's not really part of the Malt Shop collection, but it is the sweetest strawberry teas that I sell. So I know we're going into autumn right now, but sweet strawberries are fabulous all year. Next up, I'm going to tell you about our Apple Orchard tea combo. 6 teas in this one, so if you have not heard about them, they are uniquely different. And again, this is a part of the Apple Orchard collection found on the limited edition page and tab on our mobile shopping app. They are around for only a very limited amount of time. We have the black tea, spiced apple chai, that was highlighted in the amazing autumn that I talked about earlier. We have a poison apple tea. Don't be scared. I know it's a scary name, but I couldn't help myself. A poison apple. What would that taste like? What do you think? I've done it all. It has dark chocolate, hot cinnamon, and sweet apple. Amazing depth of flavor. It is nice and smooth, and it screams a fall. It is absolutely perfect. We have had the poison apple tea before as a part of our fairy tale collection, and it is back now as a part of the Apple Orchard. Oh, Betty says that she loves it when we do chocolate ones without nuts. I hear you. I like some smooth chocolate, right? Absolutely. Hi, Jean. Thanks for joining us live over on Facebook. Jean says the poison apple is yummy. It is uniquely different. I have to tell you, it is very, very different than the other teas in the other apples in the orchard. Next up is our caramel apple cheesecake. This is nice and smooth. It's an oolong-based tea. Oolongs are a little bit less in caffeine than the black teas. They're not as astringent, if that's a word that you're familiar with that describes teas, not as bitter, more smooth. Caramel apple cheesecake, no spice. It is nice and sweet caramel cream roasted apple flavor. It screams fall in a cup. It is fabulous as a latte. Next up, apple cider donut. Ooh, we've got lots of people watching today who love the poison apple. It's fun when I have a tea that have been around for a while and it kind of has come and gone out of inventory, and I love seeing the resurgence when people get excited that it's back again. It's so fun. Anyway, apple cider donut. This is a green tea, but it's gunpowder, so it's a different type of green tea than I use in some of the other green teas that I've mentioned today. Definitely apple, just a little bit of spice in the background, just a little. It's not overwhelming. When you bite into a donut, what you're really getting is apple, and in my mind, you're getting that sugar. There's always sugar on the outside of an apple cider donut. Am I wrong? Always when I've had them. So I did use that fabulous brulee flavor in this tea. It is outstanding. Okay, next up, we have apple teeny. Apple teeny. This tea tastes like an apple martini. So it is definitely sour and tart, but in a very good way, like a Granny Smith apple. You're not really puckering, but you know you're eating an apple because it's got that underlying sweetness to it. But the primary notes are sour and tart. It does have hibiscus, which is a flower that is known to lower blood pressure, and that's where the tartness and the color comes from. Next up in this collection is our honeyed apple and fig. honeyed apple and fig. This is a great one. Caffeine free. I did use honeybush tea. Honeybush is the name of the tea that grows in South Africa. It's red. It is nice and sweet. Again, honeybush is the name of the tea, so there's not actual bits of honey in that tea, but it's a great part of the flavor notes in this blend. Yes, I've used apples. Yes, I've used fig. This is another one that is just, it's very interesting. It has great depth of flavor. This is also caffeine free, so it is just perfect when you are home late at night from those football games or those fall parades or whatever, or maybe a bonfire late at night, right? You've got to have a caffeine-free option. So that is great. Again, friends, the Apple Orchard collection, they are sold individually as a bundle and as a combo pack with the Kyoto glass teapot. Next, but certainly not least, never, ever, ever least, is our Pumpkin Patch collection. Pumpkin Patch collection is featured with our Vienna glass teapot. Kind of resembles a pumpkin. What do you think? So it does have an infuser in it. The Kyoto does too. Sorry I didn't point that out. But that's the Vienna glass teapot. Holds 4 cups. These teas are also available individually as a bundle and as the combo pack. So we've got a fabulous pumpkin latte. Pumpkin latte. Definitely think pumpkin spice latte. This definitely has spice to it. But when you get a latte at a coffee shop, it's got a lot of creamy notes to it, a lot of sweetness. I have never had a pumpkin latte at a coffee shop in my life, but when I make them for myself at home, we are definitely thinking some sweet, creamy notes. So that is what is in this tea. It definitely has some caramel to it as well. So it is all the best notes. Caramel, pumpkin spice tea latte. Black tea, so it does have caffeine. Next up is the creamy pumpkin brownies. I think most of you know what pumpkin out of a can looks like. You know what brownie batter looks like. You know that both of those are absolutely so creamy and delicious. And they're fabulous together. So if you've never made yourself an actual creamy pumpkin brownie, I highly recommend it. Chocolate and pumpkin are fabulous together. This girl here doesn't eat sugar, so I'm not going to be baking myself that and the hour that it would take to do so, but I can easily make myself a cup of tea. Again, this is a black tea, so it does have caffeine. It has big cardamom pods and pumpkin seeds. They're both green. They're both kind of the same shape, so it's hard to kind of see which is which, but they're great. It's got great depth of flavor. Really, really good depth of flavor. Next up is pumpkin juice. This is another black tea. We have had this tea before. It is definitely one of our best sellers. Think pumpkin spice meets maple syrup meets apple cider. Right? Screams fall in a cup. It is a black tea, so it has caffeine, and it is excellent hot or cold. It makes a super fun latte. It is really good as an iced tea too. Next up, pumpkin pasties. We've had this recipe in the past as well. A pasty, if you didn't know, is kind of like a fry pie. So it's got that flaky crust on the outside and the inside is fabulous. So this tea specifically tastes like a cross between a pumpkin pie and an apple pie. Definitely screams fall. I know you're going to love that one. And it's caffeine free. Next up is the pumpkin roll. Pumpkin roll. So pumpkin roll is definitely a layer of cake with a very thick layer of cream that they have rolled up and brought for you, right? It's absolutely fabulous. In my opinion, the big flavor profile there is cream. So this is completely caffeine free, which is great. It is a nice creamy tea. The pumpkin and the spice are in the background. So if you're looking for something super light in spice, this is a good one. That's, again, caffeine free, so it's great at night. Perfect for a dessert latte, absolutely. This collection also has a green tea. This is pumpkin maple nut, and this tea has no spice. So the creamy pumpkin brownies does not have cinnamon or ginger, but it does have cardamom. But that is not a typical spice that you see with, like, let's say pumpkin spice, when a lot of people think of that pumpkin spice blend. So this one doesn't either. This does have pumpkin seeds with a green tea, and again, maple and nuts. In my mind, maple and nuts are perfect for the fall. It is just that perfect, fabulous taste. It is sweet, it is great hot, it's good cold. It's just nice and refreshing and screams fall. Pumpkin maple nut, another new one. It is a part of the Pumpkin Patch collection, sold individually as a bundle and a combo pack. Okay, I'm going to scooch up to look at everyone's comments to make sure I didn't miss any questions today. Friends, if you are watching on the replay, you are always welcome to email us at orders@subrosatea.com. I'll respond to your emails as soon as I possibly can. I am always looking for question marks to make sure I didn't miss anyone, especially those of you watching live. All right. Okay, I don't see any questions, so I'm going to sign off. I want to say thank you so much for your time. And again, mark those calendars. Please join me next Sunday for the launch of our brand new Oktoberfest inspired tea collection. We are celebrating everything German and Bavarian, and they're pretty fabulous. So join me next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on both the mobile shopping app and on Facebook Live. Thanks so much, friends. No matter what you do with the rest of your day, have yourself a cup of tea and take care of you. Bye-bye, friends.